This is gonna be a fish shop down on Ocean Avenue.
Yes.
It's a great building. Does anybody have any questions about this?
The enclosed drawings show 2 locations. Is the third location on the opposite end of the porch? Because there's only 2 locations shown in the application.
Well, can you get the lights?
Yes, I think there's 2 on the front.
Actually, quite very closely.
Yes.
I think it's the second to last photograph.
Oh, it says same on the
Same
opposite.
on opposite side.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it in the dark.
I just caught it when you asked.
Which is why we put the lights on.
Okay.
I have a terrible time getting the guys to put the lights on.
Just to confirm, you're utilizing the same sign
Same signs, same signs.
in the same location,
Same location.
just changing the wording.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept this signage as shown.
I'll second that.
Oh. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the signage as shown for the coast.
I'll second.
As motions made by Arlene and seconded by Bill. Any further discussion? Any other questions? If not, all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Unanimously voted. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm not sure which is. Jen, these will have to, I'll sign them tomorrow or whenever. They're all set. The next application is Matt Malik. And again, for the record, please identify yourself.
Tori Jones.
And you want us to give you permission to do? Didn't you here last year?
Yeah, so you approved one of my signs last year. I did a pop-up shop in the same space. I just did 4 weeks last summer. And now we're doing the full season through Columbus Day.
So these signs have been approved already?
Just the one that's next to the entry door, to the right of the entry door.
The one that's on the
So you're looking for
photograph?
the one on the back?
Yeah, I have the side of the building faces the Redbird parking lot. It's an open space. So I wanted to put a sign there as well. And then one post mounted sign. I'm set back from the street. So I'm trying to direct people back.
Since I had, when I drove up the street and saw the location of where that sign was going to be, that it sort of interferes with the other sign. Blocks it as you're coming up the street. So I'm wondering whether this freestanding sign couldn't be incorporated on the same post as pottery.
It could for sure. I mean, again, because I'm a little bit further back, I think it makes sense to have mine perpendicular to the street because I wanted to put an arrow pointing to the back.
Uh-huh.
And I was going to move it a little bit more to the side, closer to the driveway. So it would actually be separated quite nicely from the Block Island Blue pottery sign that's already there.
So you're leaving the original one in place?
Um,
One that-
The Block Island Blue pottery sign?
Yeah.
That will remain. That's the Malik sign.
I'm Stephanie Malik, Block Island Blue Pottery and Fashions. We have this, our 2 signs will be on the post like last year. It's not tall enough for a third one, but we could, well, we'll see what you say. Okay.
That would be my sense. I just, there could be an arrow included with the sign directed to the driveway.
I just want to make, only because I think anybody who's been in a shop downtown knows how difficult it is to direct people to anything. And trying to make this as clear as possible. How do you access this via the
Driveway,
driveway,
not through the pottery shop.
And
There's no access there.
Your access is the steps.
Yes, that's
I
right.
mean, you can go through the pottery shop, but it makes more sense to directly to go through the
And I
driveway.
think my question is, you have two separate accesses for the two separate shops.
That's
Yeah,
right.
They're
Okay,
separated buildings.
that's where I was trying to go. Yeah, I think it will make clear, easier, which has nothing to do with HDC. Yeah. It's a pretty little building in that. Does anybody have any other suggestions, or how does anybody feel about two signs versus one?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept this application the way it is.
Well, you could have said.
I know this is
So you can make a second. A second. The motion is made by Ernie, seconded by Mark to approve the application as presented. All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Let's see this stuff. The next one on the agenda is the town.
The town,
Yeah, there it is. Shirley. Okay, who's representing for the town?
Good afternoon, Charlene Goburn. I'm on the library board of trustees. I'm the vice chair. And I'm before the board to ask permission to replace 44, well, we've already replaced 8 windows in the back that had been on the building since I think 2001, 2002, and they were badly rotted. So we had to emergency replace those windows as well as the back wall. And the other 38 windows we want to replace because they're wood and they're failing as well with, what is it? With clad, vinyl clad, is it?
So it would be 8 minus 52 would be 44.
Unless they didn't get permission.
You're replacing them with Pella windows?
Yes.
The application says replace all windows
Yeah, so we replaced the 8 in the back
already.
yes.
I just have one question, Charlene. On page 1, it says just shingle to corners and skirt. Are you going to eliminate the trim on the side of the window, or? Because that's on a corner. I'm not sure.
Tom could further explain.
So what the, right now,
And excuse me, sir, you are?
I'm Tom Reese, I'm solely manager for the town. I'm sorry. The inside corners and the outside corners in the window pockets are glazed. There is no trim. And they'll be restored just as,
Okay, well, this has trim.
some of the
Okay,
windows.
are they gonna-
some flats have trim.
They're gonna keep the trim where they have. Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Thank you, Tom.
Tom, the windows will be all the same exact
Yes.
windows.
As much as the exact windows as you can get.
Mark, do you want to say that this should be approved? I'm going to do it again, Martha. I move that we accept this application as is. It looks good.
I'll second it. Get you off the.
Okay, this is, findings of fact, it is a town building. It is in the historic district. It is listed in the, around preservation, historic inventory, with the incorrect architect. It is not quite 50 years old yet. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, so voted. Now,
I did.
Oh, okay.
balancing. Okay, who's here for ballots and who's, both give your names, gentlemen, to. for the record.
Stephen Philippi.
I'm Eric Smith, Principals NES, Architecture and Interiors.
Yeah, I apologize, I was not at the last meeting, so I missed what.
No, it was my pleasure to walk you through the package. We could talk a little bit about it. Thank you, members of the board. This is an application for a second floor addition at 42 Water Street. We were before the board last month and we got some valuable feedback with regards to documentation and a couple of pieces of that documentation that were not presented at that time. Primarily the two short elevations of the building, a more accurate site plan, and also a building section. So this package includes those items, but I'll certainly walk you through page by page just to talk about the addition. So page 2 starts off with just showing some existing conditions of the building and also just a Google Earth map of the property highlighted in red. Page 3 is an engineered site plan. And if you look very closely, you'll see this blown up later in the presentation, but if you look very closely at that site plan, you'll see a dash line inside the, is that me?
Be careful, you're not hitting the microphone.
Oh.
Mine's up, mine's up.
That could have been me, I'm not sure, but I'll try to be careful up here. You'll see a dash line representing the second floor addition inside the footprint of the building. And you'll also see the extension of the new patio deck. The deck, we shouldn't call it a patio, it's above grade deck outside.
I have a question. The front of the building, the part that faces the town, it looks like that encroaches on the property line.
No, there's actually, there's a easement that we have with the town, that's recorded, that gives us the right to use it, and so forth.
Okay, well, it's beyond the property line, the steps.
That is accurate, that's correct. Nothing to do,
This is existing.
all existing, yeah. Again, the only, we're gonna start talking now about the actual work that we're proposing. But the footprint of the building in the front is certainly remaining exactly the same. On page 4, it shows in red the roof line, the new roof line highlighted, and it shows the proposed deck on the rear. It also shows a reconfigured stair that no longer interrupts the coastal feature. Thank you for your comments last month. So now the next page, Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
it's okay, yeah,
It looks like you defined the coastal feature as the seawall.
that's correct. So on the next page, we used a yellow dash line to represent the key areas that are being affected. On the first floor, it's very, very limited. So you're really seeing those two yellow dash squares. And again, the one on the lower right, you'll notice is inside the existing perimeter, existing footprint of the building. And that new stair outside is the one highlighted in the top left. And on the next page, we just blow that up. So we can skip right to the next page. And now you're seeing this a little bit clearer. Again, in the bottom left-hand corner, you're seeing a little bit of a key plan showing those two areas highlighted. And then enlarged is an enlarged version of that plan. So the proposed work inside the footprint of the building is a proposed new stair, the proposed limited use elevator, and the proposed service zone and dumb waiters. Those dumb waiters are in the kitchen footprint, so they'll be bringing food from the main kitchen up to this finishing kitchen, which we're going to talk about in the next couple of pages.
Where are the stairs now?
Well, there are no stairs inside the building because there is no, well, I'm sorry, there is a second floor on the guest room side. This is the only stair inside this, we'll call this the Great Hall, if you will. This would be a new stair added to bring us up to that new second level.
Okay, I thought it was stairs.
No, yep, no problem. So similar format on the upstairs, we used that same yellow dashed line to show the new area. And the next page will be blown up again, just for clarity's sake on the bottom left. So now I'm on page 8. On the bottom left-hand corner is the key plan showing the area highlighted that we're adding. And enlarged on that same page is just a clearer floor plan showing the space. The event space or the lounge is about 2,225 square feet with an additional 1,000 square feet of other ancillary spaces like bathrooms, finishing kitchen, the stair and lift that we mentioned downstairs. Now you're seeing that coming up to the second level. And there's the outdoor deck is a new deck that's being built over the existing patio.
I have a question. It's 2,200 square feet, more or less. What is it, 7 square feet per person? For
For seated, yeah.
Yeah. So how does somebody in a
I'm sorry,
fire,
for standing.
how does somebody in a fire in the ladies' room get out? There's no way out.
Well, they enter into the shared egress path into the main space, and then they'll have an opportunity to use the doors outside to the stair outside, or they'll use the interior stair.
They're pretty far from those doors, and the interior stair isn't a fire stair.
We will certainly meet all egress codes for this space. We have no doubt that we'll be able to achieve that. If we have to flip the bathrooms to exit the opposite side and not off the inside wall, we would do that, but I don't think we have any path of travel problems here.
Arlene, what's your interpretation of fire code?
Okay, hold on, so way off topic. This, fire codes are not under our purview. You do understand if you have to change something that impacts the exterior, you will have to come back to.
Yeah, this would, yeah, if we had to modify these bathrooms, I'm actually confident that we don't, but if we ever did, we could do it within the footprint that you're seeing.
I mention it because it's going to affect,
I understand, but it doesn't, you know.
and it's helpful to them.
I'll keep going, and you can back me up at any time. Then page 9 is the beginning of the elevations. We thought it was important to color the new portions of the building just so it really was clear.
It's very helpful.
Thank you.
I know it was going on.
Thank you. Well, last month, you know, we're happy to bring a better presentation to you this month. So on the from the beachfront, it's the most, you know, obviously the biggest change. You're looking at the upper second floor. Actually, you know what, which might be helpful too, per your recommendation. If you just skip to page 11 first, then we'll go back to the elevations. Page 11 really summarizes the addition in section. Right, so the red dashed line that you see there is the existing footprint of the building, and the section is now clearly showing that second level that we're injecting into what we're calling a great hall. And so, you know, just by the section, you could see from the entry elevation, the only thing that's interrupting or that is additive to that elevation is those clear story windows that you're seeing on the top left. And you'll also notice there too that that new roof line is still below the existing monitor height of the building. So we're not making the building any taller than it already is. But I thought this section was helpful, and again, greatly appreciate the feedback from last month.
It seems to me that if you change the where it says existing dining, you've got 13 feet to the finished floor. If you change that to 10, 11 feet to the next finished floor, and the next dimension to 8 feet instead of 8'6", you wouldn't have to be any taller than the existing building right now.
We understand that, but we would like to be taller. We would like to increase that ridge line for daylighting and to give a great space for both the existing first floor and the upper floor. Ceiling height this is a lot, that lower floor is a large space. So, you know, a ceiling height of only 9.
No, 9 feet.
It's better. It's, you know, the taller the better. But that's why we're here. Happy to talk that through with you guys.
What does the state, ceiling in here? I have no idea.
I would say that this is 10.6 to the
Well, the
finish.
doors are 6'8", 7'8".
That door might be 7 feet. Is that a standard 6'8" door? 6'8". Yeah, so I would say it's.
6'8" and 18 is.
Yeah, 11 feet.
Yeah,
I don't think it's 11.
however, I think what's, you know, the optics are unique because this space that we're talking about is probably 15 times the size of this room.
I was just trying to
Yeah,
get a gauge of
yeah.
that. I'm not good at that kind of thing without measuring. We used to have the ceiling here, it was a horrible, horrible ceiling, but it was with those tiles that were, you know, you knew how big they were,
Mhm,
and you didn't measure anything off the tiles.
mhm.
It's
So.
better than ceiling, but that's the measure.
So moving back to page 9, again, looking at the 2 long elevations, and those were just, those were here last month, but the next page shows the 2 short elevations, the north and south facing elevations. So those again were requested last month and obviously helpful for this discussion.
That's on page 10.
That's correct, page 10. Yep. You know, the window design in the north facing elevation, I think we probably could do something a little bit less sharp on the right side and come down with a vertical to end that window assembly versus coming to a point. But again, that's why we're here. These are the things that I'm anxious to get some feedback on.
What is the pink roof in that on that north elevation?
We use the color, we're going to match existing. So we're trying our best to render that existing roof color in the renderings that you see here. And we translated that to a light red
So
rose
that's
color.
existing?
No, so everything colored is new roof.
Okay.
But the idea is to match the existing roof that's there, which we would consider a rose colored shingle.
Are existing now, you're recreating the
Exactly right.
Yeah, we're
I'm just looking at a picture on page 2. Three doors are existing.
But they're not in that place.
That's correct. No, we were inspired by the existing language, and while we're adding that second floor, we're doing a similar style dormer in this new second floor space.
So
Now's the time
we're
to ask
not
for more.
raising the roof, but,
They are raising the roof.
no, I meant you're not literally raising it.
Yeah, 4 feet.
I
Are you
don't,
building a new roof?
we are building a new roof.
That's what I meant, you're not raising the roof. You're not picking the roof up and putting it higher.
Yeah, it's 4 feet higher,
You're building a new roof.
but it's gonna be 4 feet
I
higher.
understand
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Just for clarity's sake, we are building a new
With
roof.
dormers and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
The point I'm just making, if you look at page 2, those 3 existing doors
Yeah.
are on the new plans as well.
Yeah.
Just for continuity.
Yeah, you'll also see in the front of the building that there are existing dormers that are very similar in nature. So again, just carrying the same line, we're not creating much of a new language here, basically just carrying forward what's there today.
So that other space is just, event space?
Yes, it's multi-purpose space. I think events are certainly things, something that would be considered. But we certainly want it to be as flexible as possible.
And you have to deal with CRMC and all.
Yes, we do.
You've seen the hurricane pictures. You've seen the hurricane pictures.
Unfortunately, I have.
You,
I
you
think we'll talk about that
sand.
anyway.
You just have to walk down there and see the water running through it, that's all.
What?
Didn't you walk down and see?
Oh, no, I'm talking about it 38, but
Oh, I thought
The
you were
water
there for
is-
that one too.
no, I wasn't even doing it. I do remember the water coming out the front door and sand. I know. That's your problem.
Everything is, I think, I understand the north windows, full of- I understand it. You know, the height's not crazy high, but it's that window on the triangle window. What is that all about?
Well, we don't necessarily even need it.
I want something there.
But yeah, and so that's something I mentioned. It's a fixed window, yeah, fixed window. And you know, it will be some great north light that comes in there, a nice ambient light
Was
that'll
that
come
the
through there
men's
during the
room?
day. No, that's like the actual event space.
It's on the other.
Yeah, so
other side
the-
of the room.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
the-
see,
yeah.
okay.
I just,
I think my overall concern is that 4 feet dwarfs the tower. As the tower becomes, it's almost,
No,
no,
Yeah, if you look at page 9, and you look at the entrance elevation on the bottom, you'll see that I think I still understand the point that, but it's not taller than the
I didn't
top.
say it
Yeah,
was.
but it does compete a little bit, maybe.
Oh, I see what's confusing.
I would suggest we have a model to look at this thing. Could we do that?
We can do anything.
I think it's pretty clear, I mean, out of all the stuff I've been here for 6, 7 years, it's pretty clear.
We have this built in 3 dimensions in our computers, and you know, to populate a perspective view is not hard for us to do. We wanted to check the boxes with our elevations, and the renderings obviously try to help. But if you want a particular view, we're happy to.
Well, similarly, when I looked at page 13 made the roof on the front look like it was all one slope. In reality, it's not, it breaks. Right?
Page 13.
Yeah.
Your comment.
The west view of the front view. When you look at
facing
it,
east, yeah.
it looks like the roof is all one slope.
No, it's got a little kink in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he wants a model. I agree with you.
Well, again, section. So yeah, you can see in section that we're showing that kink that you're referencing
Yeah.
on page 11.
Yeah, no, I know.
But you know, truthfully, again, happy to facilitate with however we can, but the way that kink is really nowhere near the work. So I'm just wondering what's the relevance relative to the new roof line that we're talking about?
I guess the point I'm making is that the renderings aren't always representative of the way it is.
Yeah, and so in that rendering, that kink is there.
Yeah.
Because this is a 3D, that's generated from a 3D model that we have of the building.
Okay.
You have a 3D model.
We do, not a physical one, but a one that we can do all sorts of stuff with. Yeah, well, that's how these are created.
Can we have a 3D model?
Yeah.
I mean, a real model, yeah.
Are you saying a physical model?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's,
$10,000 for it.
it's, well, I can't remember mine, but it does seem of all of the things that we've gotten, this seems the cleanest, the easiest.
Well, I'm not saying it's
I
not.
understand once these plans came in with colors.
ZDS actually doesn't build physical models. It would have to be the client would have to purchase that as third party. Just to be clear, we have this building in 3 dimensions, and we could walk through animations to the space and get whatever perspective view you're looking for, but not a physical model is not within my reach.
You can't do like a chipboard model?
We don't do them. No, we as an industry don't do them that often anymore at all. It's all digital.
Yeah, once we got the 3D model, I don't want any kind of model again. That's one of us. I don't have any problem, I said, the colors have made all the difference to me. I think we should use this as an example of what everybody has to give us. But that's me. I think the roof, that line of windows is kind of neat. I've always felt that was a massive roof. But that's, it's also subjective.
It goes with the style of the building, whole building, for the same spirit.
I think I'm grappling with the windows in relation to the tower, and if I could see that in the physical model.
Well, maybe,
One. Oh, sorry. Maybe by pulling them in a little bit would help not compete. Like we're going across with clear story windows along that whole ridge just to mirror the space that they're within. But we could equally pinch the clear story windows to back away from that tower and still get some light.
That might do it.
Yeah, that would give us a little relief from the tower that I think is troubling you.
Yeah, so you're saying the windows in the tower, space the same in the.
Talking about shrinking the.
So you've got 7 now, so you go down.
Yeah,
to 5.
I think she's, I'm just going through this in my mind too. We're all just thinking out loud here, but they relate to the space that's inside, right? So if we shrink the windows, there'll still be roof there. They just won't be windows. So it'll be a solid plane. I like the transparency of it. It keeps it nice and light and airy. So I'm not saying we would pull the whole roof in. I'm just saying we would pull the windows in, but I don't think that's going to help. And this rendering doesn't, because we're looking at an angle, again, sometimes the axons are not as clear for me as the elevation. So that's why we've given you both. But if you look at the elevation, that properly defines the distance from the tower, which maybe that's, I'm not sure if that helps or hinders, but so it looks like about 5 feet away, 4 to 5 feet away from the tower element.
See, and I would actually say we take a section out of there. Now that whole section of glass actually looks funny.
I agree.
Now it looks like something added. The fact that it does run up somewhat snug with the tower gives continuity to the ridge line.
I understand.
Trying to take a section out, now I think it's going to stick out and frankly look ugly. Now it's going to look like somebody just added on.
See these windows here?
Yeah.
Suppose you tried to make these look almost the same with kind of.
When you try to sell the same thing to them, you try to sell to me.
Well, I guess if you don't like the straight glass, try to match the tower.
I think if you're going, my perspective, if you're going to do something like this, either do it or don't do it. The only place I can think of that's got a roof like this is a private house.
So because we've spent a lot of time on this, it's a very delicate because it's a very, very small piece of the overall building. So we knew we couldn't add any new vocabulary. But a comment was just made, and it just reminded me of the exercise we went through. At first, the windows of the tower, we would like to see that have more of a mulled look, right? We'd wanted that clear story to kind of look like a cupola that had trim that went all around. Instead, they're punched openings in the structure, so the shingles are surrounding each window. I personally don't like that look. This clear story is what we think it makes more sense because it is a true clear story. So to see all these windows as an assembly, as mulled together in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 segments, we thought looked the best. And I have those options in the office, but this is our best foot forward.
Well, there is a space between the tower and the windows, right?
That's correct.
What if you were to raise the tower 3 feet? So that it's dominant. It's not dominant, no. It was intended to be.
I never like telling a HDC board that I'm raising the height of a building unless I absolutely have to.
Oh, you got a height restriction?
No, we're fine with height restrictions on this
How
building.
high is this?
Well, the existing ridge, again, the tower element is at 32.5 1/4. The existing ridge line is the 26.10 1/4. We're adding 4 feet to that ridge line, which brings us to 30 10 1/4. So we're still, we're still about 1 foot. What is that math?
What would the tower, what's the back of the tower?
About I'm sorry, I'm trying to,
So this-
the existing monitor or tower, we're calling it a monitor, we couldn't come up with the best word for it. 32 feet, 5 1/4 inches is the existing tower height.
What's your height limitation down there?
Height limitation in this area is, I want to, it's, I think we have 40 feet. Yeah, we have some
Oh, so
room.
you could raise it, yeah.
Oh, it's 10 to 20?
I think so. We'll have a financial.
So you can get those windows to line up,
Yeah,
and it would probably look a lot better.
yeah.
And HDC made you do it, Steve.
No.
Mike, that would be that.
Yeah, that would look a lot better.
It would.
I think the tower high would look better.
I think so. That's what I've been trying to do. So then the windows would come up with in the tower.
I mean, this is something we could certainly discuss. It wasn't a part of our proposal, but if that's what you think makes the most sense.
And what's gonna be between the windows, the clear story windows?
It'll trim, there'll be trim up there, painted trim.
But there's a post between.
Yeah, there'll be a structural element there. Yeah, yeah. Which, well, it's,
So you have
it's,
to have- yeah.
it's nice. It's gonna be mirrored inside with structural members, so I think it'll really read.
Yeah. No,
Through the,
that's good. But the one on the right has bigger, it's different than.
that's not supposed to be that way. I just noticed the same thing. It's got that little extra piece there. It's not supposed to be like that. It should look just like the left does.
Okay,
What page you on?
The page 9 in the bottom right-hand corner, it shows like a little unevenness happening there. It'll look like 7 equal segments of glazing, and it'll end with a pier on both sides, just like the left does.
That proposed new roof line is really screwing it. It's visual.
Creates a visual that shouldn't be there.
No, it's just where.
she's reading the line instead of the.
Oh, sorry. The arrows you're saying are confusing?
The line that goes off on either side of the proposed new roof line.
Got it.
Well, I think we have something that all of us could agree on. Mark's idea of raising the tower to make it even.
Make the windows even.
I could pass this with that stipulation that they raise the tower, go straight across.
You just gotta remember.
I could vote for it then.
But look at the north elevation of the tower.
Yeah, it's 35,
I mean.
they've got the 5 feet.
What are you gonna see coming in the boat?
You're gonna see an extra,
The tower you would see coming in the boat.
If you'd allow ZDS to, if we did raise that tower, I'd like to make that roof like step off the building a little bit more. It would certainly match the window system that we're talking about, the clear story. We would make that tower be beautiful. Right now, it's not, as far as I'm concerned.
We're only talking about a few feet.
I know, but I think there's some articulation there that would marry really nicely with the clear story that we're proposing.
Did we ask you to do that and come back and show us what you have in mind?
I think you guys are a lot closer.
We'll give you options too on the tower. To show you guys.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Mike made something happen, the IGA. Right?
Who, me? What'd I do?
No, the
I
IGA.
haven't been there in 2 years.
The new cupola is in the front yard right now, we're gonna lift it up at the end of this week, we're having it.
Yeah.
And it has
A little flare to the bottom.
Yeah, a curve,
a
a nice curve, yeah.
Had, suggested they do it and they did it, and boy.
It makes a big difference, yeah.
Makes a huge-
Little swoop at just a gradual swoop at the
Right
end.
across from the police station, it's the IGA.
Okay, we'll check it out.
It's right there.
We'll take a ride by after the hearing.
Thank you.
Better know where it is.
Well, we made the the comparison that if you drive through town and look at all the cupolas, the older buildings, the more gracious buildings, have this slope
Little
top to the cupola
yeah.
rather than the four-sided, like what's shown here.
What do you think about introducing that swoop to this will be the only roof on the structure with a little
I'm
flare.
not saying it's necessarily
Okay.
for this, but
We'll study it.
yeah. But I do think raising it up, maybe putting the windows in line as you're suggesting.
Is that close to deep, Steve?
Yes.
Okay, that's not easy.
Definitely not.
All right, so you want to continue this on until next month?
Yeah. We're getting close.
We explained everything. Well,
And this was a very, very, this is a very good example of how little you have to do to make something so much easier to understand. And that's just adding a couple of colors.
You guys knocked it out of the park.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Well, it had a lot to do with the feedback we got here last month. So
Very
thanks.
well presented.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. The motion or continue this is on next month.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
The motion is by Mike, seconded by Marlene, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
And now we have a brief by Shirley, you again, or Bill Lehman did this.
Excuse me?
Are you presenting this, Stanley?
Yes, I'm here for sharing,
You can stand up and give your name and record.
Yes.
Bill Lambert, representing Stanley Nazio.
This is for the house on High Street.
Yep, 337 High Street.
Oh, got it.
What's he wanting to do?
Okay, on the back, I don't have, I just got called this week to come to the meeting, so I didn't have any of the paperwork. On the back side of his house, he has an old step set up, porch set up. It's like two layers or two tiers. One's a 4x6 and the other one is a 4x5 or something, but it's on ground level on the back side of the house. Okay, and what he wants to do is make it 8x12. And with the steps coming out and dropping down into different pads, instead of having a conventional stair system, he wanted a little wider so when he walks, he can stop. I tried to ask him if he would like a handicap ramp, and he didn't want no ramp, but he didn't want the conventional wide step, just an
The
normal
steps
step.
are gonna go off to the side now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of the way they are now, they go straight down onto a pad, and the pad, it goes to ground, it's a ground level. This deck could be level, then you step down on one pad, which would be probably 4x4, make a turn down to another pad, roughly 4x3, 4x2, just to make it easier. So if he came up with like a walker or something, he was too proud to have a handicap.
I think we call it stubborn.
Yeah, Polish. That's that one on the back side.
You're gonna
And
have
that-
railings on both sides?
On both sides, everything according to code. The setback on that one will be probably 30 to 35 feet from the wall on his driveway side.
Hey, Bill, before we go, you're gonna have the same sort of rail system you have right now.
No,
This or what you're gonna have?
no, that rail system will be changed to a white PVC with the black 3/4 inch piping.
I understand the piping part,
You mean for the rail?
Yes,
but I'm talking about, the railing itself, not the handle. Just, somebody help me with this.
So you're talking about the wooden construction that you see here. He's gonna make that out of PVC. But 3/4 inch, if he's handicapped,
well,
1.5 inches is what you really need for a rail. Because 3/4 inch doesn't.
well, no, what I mean is the rail system, the railings of the deck will be a PVC from
Right.
Trex. And then
Right.
on the side, walking up, there'll be another pipe, probably 1.25 inches.
Yeah,
where you
okay.
can grab, so
Oh,
it'll be
you
almost
said-
like a two-part rail
You said
system.
3/4 inch or no?
Well, it's the ballast system I'm talking
Oh,
about,
okay,
up and down. They're black 3/4,
okay.
okay?
The X's that are the original one, they come out one way, kind of system.
Oh, I'm talking about the backside right now. I'm on the backside. On the backside, instead of the 2x2 balusters, they're gonna be the Trex railing with the white PVC top and bottom, and in between it will be 3/4 inch black pipe.
Why black?
That's the way the girls want it. They want the black.
You don't show that, any of that.
No,
Hold on. I can give you something now. On the rail system, I did replace the deck right next door on the other side. Last year, he applied for a permit. I wasn't involved. And we explained what we were gonna do and it went through. So it's gonna match the other deck that I did last year. Next door. Okay, I don't know if you could see a copy of that. I'm trying to get something on my phone so I can show you. I hate these things. You might even see it from a side angle when I took a picture of the of the old deck in the back in the distance. I'm still looking.
yeah. This is the open space here.
Yeah.
And then this is the existing stairs here.
So what's going to do?
So he wants to widen it all the way. In other words, there'll be a deck to here and then the stairs will come off this way.
Stairs to come which one?
Off with, oh, that's with the black, yeah.
Could you send that to, Jim?
The stairs will come off that way.
This one, where is that shown?
It's not shown. It's, yeah, I
So
guess
this-
we need a
So
drawing.
this is existing, not what's proposed.
Correct. You don't have anything showing those new stairs, right?
Just quick print I did for the building inspector for the permit. The stairs that I'm gonna put in are just real quick for him.
But we don't have it.
No, I don't.
We don't have a drawing of what you're proposing to do.
Only thing I have a drawing was when I went for the permit and I gave it all to the building official. I didn't know I needed all that when I came here. I just got the call Thursday. And I was in Vermont.
So I can access the permit, I mean, it's not approved yet because
Yeah.
this has to take place first.
And like I said, the steps where if you look at that, it goes out the door, 4 feet, steps down 3 or 4 of them, and then it goes down onto a ground level pad, and then it walks onto the grass. Now it's gonna be level, then the steps are gonna step down, go a little bit, step down, almost like a tier type system.
We're supposed to have some sort of documentation on what you're proposing.
I could do
Rather
that.
than a verbal, something that's,
I could do that, try this, I'm not much of a drawer, so I could give you somewhat of an idea. I don't know if she could, she said that she might be able to get something from the building official. Does I draw something up on a piece of paper for him?
So my question is in the front, there's the deck, 31 feet. Does that mean you're gonna extend the roof line?
No, in the front, looking at the building, there's a cement solid pad there for the front porch with the roof over. Because everybody comes up at the same time, sometimes we can't get on the front porch all together, so we have to sit lawn chairs. So the girls would like to be able to, when I say the girls, it's Stanley's daughters, they put on both sides of the deck, of the existing. They did ask me about a roof mark, and I told them I didn't get a contractor because I don't want to get into that. It's too much work. So I convinced them just extend it right to left, and that's it.
So we need to know facts of that.
Yeah, it's not gonna be extended out towards the road, just right to left of the path of the original set.
Oh, so it's just decking, no roof?
No roof.
It's this,
And you're gonna have the same rails on that deck as black in the back.
Well, I was hoping for the same rails as in the back.
No more of this one.
No, because they're all,
We don't know that either.
okay. Well, see, I didn't, I wasn't really a,
I was terribly confused.
I thought I understood it.
So this drawing that you submitted is a proposed drawing, with just adding decks on either side of the porch.
yes, yes.
But, yeah.
But it's
You're
changing-
gonna change the railing.
Yeah,
Just gonna, instead of having the old fashioned X rails, they're gonna match the rest of the other deck in the back.
why don't you do the X rails? It's a lot cheaper.
I don't think they're legal
No, they are. If it's not more than 2.5 feet above grade, it's fine.
there.
But the ones in the back, if you want to match the ones in the back, but.
But if I have to match the one, again, if I have to match the ones in the front, I'd do anything you guys want.
I don't think you can match the ones in the front.
Why?
Isn't that farther off the ground?
I don't think
The next
so.
question, is it gonna be level, all three decks now?
All level, right across Mark.
Right across. Just that.
Yep.
know that either.
Yep,
Yeah, no, Martha, it's only, if you count the steps, it's only at most 24 inches above grade.
This one?
in the front.
Yeah.
give
Oh,
or
no,
take.
this one.
No, the one in front.
This one.
What about matching the front and back?
Oh, no.
The only place on that, might be a little bit above the grade, if you're looking at the house on the right corner, because that's a little higher, the ground goes
Yeah,
down.
but still not 3 feet, right?
It'd be close, but I don't think it's over that.
So the rails, the new railing will extend the full length of the house
Yep, all the way around,
and around the ends too.
yes.
Go around the sides of the house?
No, just
Around
the
sides
new
of
deck.
porch.
The entryway is gonna be that entryway.
That entranceway will remain the same.
No other entryway inside.
The only
No other
reason,
entryways.
yeah, the only reason I'm thinking about these X railings is it conforms to code, and a lot of the houses along High Street there have these X railings.
On the front, I have no
Yeah.
problem, I have no problem with the back of the.
Yeah.
What he's using, but I agree with everything. On the front, and it's within code.
It might be one corner that's 3 feet, the rest is 2 feet. So that-
Right.
Yeah. It's not even, it's
And what
it looks like it's 18 inches in the middle, right? You know.
So,
for
yeah, there's only two
steps.
steps going up to the main
Right, right.
pad.
So
One,
would it
two,
be-
most.
What's the width of the new decks?
One is 15.6 and the other one's, I think it's like 15.7 on both sides of
So-
that.
But they'll be
You're-
wood, not concrete. I'm sorry, right?
You're going to have one set of rails or two
Well, when you walk
on
up the
each
side,
side?
yeah, when you walk up the steps, you're gonna have the rails go right
Yeah,
around.
but you're gonna have it just the way it is, but the new decks that are facing the street, will they just have one cross, or you gonna have a post and two sets of
Be
crosses?
two, it'd be, one, two, yeah, on, looking at the house, on the right side, it'd be 3 on that side, 3 on that side sets.
3 sets,
Yeah, and then one set going back to the house.
and the one that existing will stay the way it is?
The deck and stuff, yes.
No, on the rails.
Only thing I would want to do is the railing in the front on the existing railing, the white ones, is put new wood, because they're getting rotted.
Yeah, the problem is right now, without having all the dimensions, I don't know how big the extensions are gonna be, if these are gonna work at the same size, if they're different sizes,
The building, you're
that
saying,
gets really screwy.
you're saying it's 5, you're gonna have like 5 feet, you're gonna have 3.
Yeah.
The ones that you have are almost 7.
They're 7 feet here,
Yeah,
so then I gotta try to divide them up.
I was gonna say, 7 instead of 3 5.
Yeah, whatever comes out to be a month, the most equalest and most easiest way, so if it's gonna become.
That's why a drawing would be.
Yes.
When does it start? I mean.
My main concern really wasn't the front, my main concern was really his back, because the steps are rotted. I really like to get the steps in the back before that breaks off on him.
Why don't you steps in the back?
Yes.
The ones in the front, I can come back with another plan for the front.
Let's do that.
and draw up how you would like the railings. You would like to keep the original X style in the front.
Yeah, and then the 7-6.
You know, try to divide, figure them out that way. I could do that, yes, for you. And then I want to put lattice on the bottom, so I'll draw that up so you can see the lattice work on the bottom. Yes,
So let's put it into two. So
The,
I have no problem with that.
the front is being contained.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
And I agree with that. As well, Bill, it's that X thing floors.
yeah. I agree with that. It'll make it look nice, almost look like the house never changed, stuff like that. So it will look nicer than having off this, what the original, what.
It's probably more in keeping with the style of the house.
Yeah.
You can go anyway.
Yeah.
Can you donate this to the recyclable?
Space, yeah.
Now, once
Okay, so somebody make a motion on this, or only on the back part?
I move we continue the motion for the front and approve the application for the modifications to the rear as submitted.
And you gotta get some information, Jen has some information from the rails, right? So can you bring, no,
You're gonna send Jen the photo
Of the rail for the back deck or for the front?
back.
Yeah, for the front, yes, I will give her the information for that.
So Mike, your motion is to approve the plans for the rear.
Correct.
Okay, back.
And who seconded that? I'll second. Okay, seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So voted.
Okay, and then I'll draw up plans submitted again, so I can meet the next meeting. Yeah, that'd be fine. That's all. I'm more worried about the back. Well, see, we were talking about the back and they were saying, hey, why don't we do something with the front? And I was like, I really don't want to. And the girls were like, please put it in and see if we could get it go through. And that's why I did it, you know?
Oh, it's for, March. 8th. I got it. Yeah, I said them late today. It was the noon time meeting.
Jen, I got a question that has nothing to do with any of this wait to absolute.
Well, we don't, you didn't see the minutes.
No.
Okay, so minutes will be next month.
Well, you weren't there, and you weren't there.
I wasn't there
Right,
last.
so we will pay Arlene and,
What's on my- We can vote on minutes. if we want to do that, actually. That's what the rule is.
you want to do the next one?
Okay. So you can enjoy. You have a second?
Second.
Okay.